You all know Becky already. Good. And please welcome the producer of the film, Alexandra Prochazka.
Wow. I feel like I have so many emotions after that film because there were so many themes that were covered that we as little people face in our everyday lives, whether it's in a family scenario or it's bullying or it's trying to educate people on the terminology of the M word, which most people in our community find just as offensive as the African American community using the N word. We still definitely, because the numbers are so small, pun intended, there are only 30,000 little people living in the United States and less than 200,000 in the world. And most people, when they come across a little person, they've never seen one of us before. So how they judge us is based on preconceived notions, what they see in the media, and that's why true real-life stories are so important to us. Before working on this project, I want to ask you right away, had you ever met with or seen a little person in your lifetime?
No, not before. Not before I met the main actor, Jordan Prentice.
So what were your initial thoughts before working with him and knowing that you were going to work with him?
So as a film person, it's about story, right?
Yeah.
And for us, it was important to make sure to have everybody, on the same page to tell that story, whatever this means in the preparation. It's people's business, and it's about, connecting with the team and with every actor and vice versa. So that was the most important thing for us, that make sure everybody's on the same page to tell that story the best way we can.
And how did the story come about?
You mean...
of the film, who decided to make it and why?
Right. So I don't know if you got that in the credits, but our directors, Efi and Joachim, they also the writers of the story. So they also wrote the script because they are very close friend to a little person. And as also filmmakers, they wanted to tell a story about, the thematic question, what is love? And that love is about the connection from heart to heart, and that nothing else matters. And that's how they came up with that story.
That's really great. I love hearing stories like that, like Breaking Bad, the character of Walter Mitty Jr., played by R.J. Mitty. That character.
I had the pleasure of meeting him in Russia some month ago, yeah.
Yes, he will be at the festival starting tomorrow. The writer-producer grew up with someone with cerebral palsy, and that's what made him bring that into the storyline. And that's why it's so important for people to share their stories, especially when it comes to people surrounding them who they're close with, who may or may not have a disability. And it's important to continue to share those stories because so many people can connect to them. When you were mentioning...
And if I may add, so we are, and I'm speaking in behalf of the whole team, we are all very thankful because we learned a lot throughout the process of this production.
Definitely. I would say the letter definitely resonated with me right at the beginning. A lot of people growing up, I would say when it comes to relationships, I've only been in an intimate, real relationship with another little person because we understand each other, we get each other. I never really had a preference. I didn't join Little People of America or wasn't an active member until my college years when there was a convention happening in Boston, and then I got roped into a lot, and I can't look back now. But I would say that I was always, my thought process didn't matter to me, but I noticed in high school I may have liked people and they couldn't, even if we had a good friendship, they couldn't take it to the next level because they feared so much what their friends would think. And I was aware of that.
Yes.
And I didn't want to pursue something where someone would feel uncomfortable. And you can tell that in the letter that was written, she was saying that they couldn't stay together. And I think a lot of it has to do with how people may perceive their families, think about the scenario. And there's also just when it comes to a guy perspective. A lot of guys, it's just a real scenario. Little people guys who try to date average height girls sometimes struggle because girls want to be with someone who's taller than them, who can protect them, and they don't perceive someone smaller being someone who can protect them. And these are all such realities that really like hit the heart. So thank you guys for telling this story.
I'll be happy to forward this to the whole team, and I also may forward to all of you best greetings from the directors and the team, and we're very honored to be part of that great festival. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now let's ask some questions. I'm sure some of you have them.
I'll be happy to take questions.
I just have a question about the plot, which is, if the deceased mother didn't want the son, why did she guide her son to Tom if he wasn't the real father? Did she think that he was like maybe a better person than whoever it was, Schneider or whoever the real dad was, or did I miss something in the plot?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Sorry.
I guess I'm wondering, it seemed like the dad led the young boy to Tom. The mom. Am I making sense? I'm sorry.
No worries.
I guess I just didn't, I missed something. Okay,
No worries.
I think, so they're asking, like, the letter got to the son, and then they found out that he wasn't the real father. I think maybe they were saying that the letter was written before the son was born, so there may not have been a letter to that next father who was his real father. They're just wondering how the letter about Tom, from Tom, got directed to the son, who wasn't the son. They were like,
That's wonderful. I need some help on that.
Can I just say, it's just it was her possessions. That letter was not sent because the child obviously shouldn't have a child. So it could have been a miscarriage or anything. So in terms of the plot device, it was part of her possessions as the son passed away. So they were just possessions of the mother returned to the child. No.
Okay, folks. Hope that was clarified, and we'll take another question from up here. Thank you.
Well, thank you so
Thanks for
much.
your help.
I appreciate, everybody who understood the plot helping me. Thank you.
I think this was a really beautiful film, and with clearly high film quality. And wondering, how did you get the financing for it, and was it made for commercial distribution, and has it been commercially distributed in Germany or in the EU?
Thanks. That's a very good question. I'm happy to answer this question as a producer. So, well, we have an initiative in Germany which is called, if I translate it word by word, the Special Movie for Children. And for this, the government and some TV stations release a certain amount of budget. And it's like, you can hand in scripts, and they award one script every year as the best script for this initiative. And our film, the script has been awarded 3 years ago. And if you get this first prize, so to say, you have about 70% of the budget in place. And then the gap financing quite works well. So we had a distributor for German-speaking countries, so for Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. And we are in the wonderful situation that we got a lot of international awards during the past month, and that allowed us to get a world distributor now. which, well, we are very, very happy about this, because let's see what will happen with this movie. There have been rumors there will be a remake. I don't know. Let's see. But the world distributor clearly will, again, help that the message will travel across the world more and more.
I was going to ask, can you talk about the casting a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Well, what do you want to know?
Both the kids and the kid and the father specifically.
Thank you. It's also a very important question. I mean, obviously the actors are, at the core of the movie. So for Tom's role, which is today played by Jordan Prentice, we started casting in Germany. And the directors came back to us, to the producers, and said, well, we're not 100% there. So we said, okay, let's do casting throughout Europe. And guess what? After some months, they came back, said, no, we're not 100%, we are closer, but we're not 100% there. So we said, okay, what else? What are we going to do? And then they came up one day later, well, let's go for Jordan Prentice. Jordan is Canadian. It's not that, obvious to take an international, very well-known actor in a German project. But we said, well, if you think that's the best fit, we should give it a try, and see if Jordan wants to play Tom. And due to, well, it was a great surprise for all of us that we got very quickly Jordan on board for this project, because normally dealing with agent takes some more time than that took. But yeah, okay, so Jordan was on board. And well, for Michi, the son, the casting process was even as long as for Tom, but we did only casting in Germany for him. And so when we knew we had Jordan, we flew him over to Germany, and we did, with our favorite sons, we did a casting and tried to have them both in scenes, and then really to see which chemistry between the two actors works the best. This is how we got them.
And how did Jordan know German at all before, or how long did it take him to
Thank
learn?
you, yes. So no, Jordan is speaking English. Also during the whole production process, Jordan spoke English, and Michi only German. And, this is one of my favorite stories of that movie, because literally they couldn't talk to each other. Not at all, They were like pointing at things at the beginning, they were like just, Mickey picked up some English words from songs he knew or from, whatever with his friends, but they couldn't talk to each other. So we were like, how do we tackle that issue? And we decided shortly before we start the shoot to do a pizza session with both of them. And the interesting thing is they got so close to each other very soon that then I had two actors not speaking the same language but talking to each other the whole time during the shoot. That's what's fantastic.
Wow.
So he afterwards,
they just understood each other.
To know his lines, he had to just kind of like say them. He didn't know what he was saying, but just put on a good show.
Well, he was knowing what he was saying, because we tried our best to do a preparation. But you're right. He had his keyword where he knew now it's time to jump in, but they didn't understand the language. Yeah. So we dubbed Jordan for the German release, so he got a German speaker, so to say.
And I would say just the last line and what was stressed in the middle, if we were all underwater, we're all the same size. So I think that's what everyone should go out of here with. Don't judge a person by their size, and treat others the way you want to be treated. I always tell people, ask questions, don't make assumptions. Maybe one person, even in the film, Jordan said the M word and was just like, yeah, I'm allowed to say it. Some people are okay with it, but others aren't. I would say the overall rule is ask someone what they're comfortable with, because we all grew up in different environments, we all have different values, and we're all just people at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you both so much.
So, if I may take this opportunity just to add a very personal sentence, the screening means a lot to me also tonight or today, because two of my closest friends are sitting there, Alex and Josh. So thank you for being with me. I love you.
This is actually why we really did this screening, just to give you guys an opportunity. You know, how many times can we send you a link and it's not opened? Thank you all so much. Folks, we love your feedback, so we have survey forms outside. Please take a moment to fill them out.